Hello guys, I hope you are doing good. So today in this video we are going to discuss what is a startup and the benefits of being a startup. Before starting the video, I would like to share that if you are new to my channel, please subscribe it, and if you don't know what MSME is, what are the new criteria of getting MSME registered, the new process of getting MSME registered under Udyam registration, how to download a certificate, that is Udyam registration certificate, and what are the schemes or the schemes which are being launched by government to help MSMEs revive. You want to have a complete overview of this details, please check out my videos on the same. I will put the link in the description. Alternatively, you can go to my playlist and you can check out both the playlists. It's in Hindi and English as well, so you can choose it as per your preference. So without any further, let's start the topic. What is startup and benefits of startup? First, what is a startup? What are the different organization? What are the criteria that one should be looking for or which are covered under a startup? First is type of organization. Only and only private limited company, limited liability partnership firm and partnership firms are eligible to get registered as a startup. So proprietorship, then will not be eligible for this. Unregistered partnership firm will not be eligible. HUF, these are the organizations which are not eligible. Public limited company. So these are the companies which will not be eligible to get registered as a startup. Second is vintage or years of operation. It should not be more than 10 years. So right from date of incorporation, the startup shouldn't have completed 10 years. Originality. The entity should be a new entity. It should not be like they are splitting up two entities or reconstructing a new, already having an existing business. If you are doing such malpractices, it will not come under the purview of startup. It should be a new original entity. Financials. The turnover should not be more than 100 crores of rupees. So if the turnover exceeds 100 rupees of crores, then it will not be eligible for a startup. So now these are the organization. A few points need to consider whether organization or the business would come under a startup or not. Now let's understand some of the benefits that a startup gets. First one, startup patent application and IPR application. Whenever a startup makes an application for patent or IPR, means intellectual property rights, their application would be on a fast track process. So they would be they would be looked into a priority basis compared to a normal application. Second is panel of facilitators would be empaneled by the controller to help the startup get through the whole process, and the cost which is being there for facilitating this whole process would be borne by government. Rebate on filing of application. So whenever startup files an application, 80% of rebate would be given compared to other companies. Second is self-certification. Startup has the power, or I would say benefit, that they can self-certify itself for 6 labor laws and 3 environmental laws. So what is the benefit of self-certification? First, let's look into the 6 labor laws. In the 6 labor laws, when a startup self-certify, what happens is there will be no inspection for 5 years unless and until a complaint in writing is being filed and are being approved by a senior officer. So till that time there will be no inspection, nothing doing. So it will help them to run the business without any issue. It would be very smooth for them. Second is 3 environmental laws. In case of environmental laws, when a startup self-certify itself, the startups would be put up in a category, that is white category, where only random checks are being carried out. So they will not have to take all the burden to get each and every time registered or inspected. So this all the things which would be taken care of if they just self-certify. This is the benefit of a startup. Next is easier public procurement norm. The objective is government have a huge demand, and so what happens is if these demands are being fulfilled by a startup, it would help the startup sector to emerge. So for that, government is doing some of the norms, selecting some of the norms for startup. First is they get the opportunity to list the products on government e-marketplace. Second is there is exemption from prior experience or turnover criteria. So certain times some tenders are being put up with a criteria that certain experience, certain years of experience or certain amount of turnover should be there in that organization. So that can be taken care of. Second is EMD exemption, that is earnest money deposit. So many at times whenever a person is applying for a tender, they need to have some deposit with the government. So such can be waived off in looking into the case to case basis. But yes, this can be given to startups. So it would help them to get a huge demand. At the same time, the cost of getting a new business would be less. Eligibility startup which are recognized by the department would be only eligible for this whole benefit. That is for easier public procurement norms. Next is taxation exemption under section 80 ISE of Income Tax Act. Now, what are the benefits? Eligible startup would be exempted from paying income tax for 3 consecutive years. Means 3 straight years they would be exempted from paying income tax out of the first 10 years since inception. Now, eligibility. It should be a recognized startup, it should be a private limited company or a limited liability partnership firm. So, registered partnership firm will not be eligible. Startup should have been incorporated after 1st of April 2016. So, if the incorporation is before that, it will not be eligible for the tax exemption. And registration documents which would be required would be memorandum of association or LLP deed, board resolution, annual accounts of the startup for last 3 financial years, income tax returns for the last 3 financial years. Easy winding up of company. The objective is to allow entrepreneurs to relocate capital and resources to more productive avenues faster and encourage entrepreneurs to experiment with new and innovative ideas. The benefit is, as per IBC 2016, there are certain specific startups which have which can get wound up, means fully resolution can happen within 90 days from application. And secondly, an insolvency professional or IP, or people also say IP, that is insolvency professional, will be appointed to take over the charge of the company, including liquidation of assets and paying its creditors. So what essentially would happen is certain specific startup would get 90 days, they would get a 90 days period within which it would get wound up. Second thing is they would be hiring a new person, a new professional who would be taking care of the business and ensuring the whole liquidation process goes through. At the same time, this would help the entrepreneurs or the promoters to have a time which can they invest into some new experiment and try something new out. So it would have a overall benefit for people to start and experiment new ideas in the form of a startup. So I guess that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. If you have some questions, suggestions, you can mention in the comments below. If you like this type of video, please give a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get an instant notification as soon as I upload my new videos. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. Bye.